Welcome back to No Man's Sky, everyone. Jason here, and this is our beginner series for 2026. So in the last episode, we did some decorating. I was showing you guys the wiring and stuff for our Bob box. We went to the space station. We did a space station tour, and we got a new marker. We have a distress signal over here. So I realized at the end of last episode, I haven't showed you guys anything really in the deep menus, especially for beginners. You're not going to know all this kind of stuff. So I want to go over some of the menu items that you might want to change, maybe not. You know, default settings are fine, but just to be aware of in case the game is kind of feeling weird. So if you go into your pause menu, there's a ton of different things in here. So the first thing you should generally see if you pause is going to be your log. This is basically like the missions you have active. And because we're still early on, we only have one. But you're going to start getting more and more. They're going to stack up. Don't feel overwhelmed. They kind of separate them out. So they have your primary, your main missions, and then your secondary missions. But you don't have to do anything. There's no time limit. There's nothing like that. So just pick one and make sure that's the one you want to do. The other thing to keep in mind is the game will only mark items for your active mission. Meaning, if you switch it to a secondary, like if you want to do some, side mission, that's great. It will not mark anything for your main missions. And so you need to make sure you check this regularly, because every once in a while, it'll either automatically switch or maybe you forgot you switched over to a secondary. And if you want to bounce back to the primary mission, it will not show you a dang thing. So you need to come back here and switch your missions or activate the missions you want to do all the time. So if you can't see a thing, or you don't know where you're going, or it seems like some of the markers are off, double check this log right here. That way you can make sure, oh yeah, I was on the wrong mission. I need to switch it back to the one I want to do. Another thing to keep in mind is your catalog. So this is going to be all the info you are finding on your save. So right now there's a lot of stuff here. But like if you want to know anything about materials you might have picked up, anything you picked up like carbon, it'll tell you how much it is, like worth for each one, what it's used for. So you see at the bottom of there, it says used for building, crafting, charging, upgrading, refining. So these are very, very useful materials. But like something like maybe salt, building, crafting, charging, upgrading, not as useful, doesn't have as many. And so you'll see things that are up and down, like so there's something like exotic ones. There you go, some more rares. Methane, used for charging and upgrading, so not as like impactful to the game. It's important because there's some really cool upgrades that use it, but it's not going to show up as often. So that's a rare item that you're not going to run into very, very often. But you can go through this list and see everything. Fuels for everything that you use, like we have ammo, we have repair kits, so if you damage something, you can pick one up and there you go. They give you anything. So if you don't know what something is, you can always come into this menu and say, hey, what is that? The other thing you can do is if you select, like let's say you select cadmium. Oh, it's not going to let me find it? Let me see. There is a way to find it, and I don't know how to do. Oh no, I don't know how to do it. Oh no. Materials. Is there not a way for me to find it? Plants? They don't let me go mark it. We'll find that later. We'll find that later on. I haven't done this in so long that I don't even remember how to do it. I am terrible. I am terrible. Okay, well, anyway, here's all the information. There's some spoilers in here because this is cross-save as well. So some of these things, like I've never found a Radiant Brain on this save. We're brand new, but it's showing it to me. And so some things are cross, some things are not. Mind Arc, because you find this during the story, it's not going to highlight it yet. This is optional, so that's why it's kind of showing it to me now. They're like, you've done this before. You know what this is. This is in the main storyline, so it's not going to show me the Mind Arc and things like that. But it is grayed out, so you know I've seen it before. It's just that I haven't activated it yet. So there's a lot of stuff that I've activated on another save, but because we haven't gotten it here yet, it hasn't shown it to me yet. You should be able to mark something as a an item you can grab, but I guess not. All right, fine. Fine. I didn't want to anyway. Anyway, so there's a lot of information here. Another thing to keep in mind is your journey milestones. So you can select any one of these, and it'll bring you to your milestone menu. This is something to keep in mind because this has a big effect on the storyline, specifically the Atlas Station storyline. We're going to go do that later on, but your Atlas Station storyline has a lot to do. It requires you to do some of these things. So, overall journey, you know, we have total 10 total milestones. And that includes like level 1 for talking to aliens. I've learned 1 word so far. I've not gone to any other star system yet, so I'm at 0. I've not scanned every animal on a planet, but I can select this, and it says planetary zoology. Locate planetary fauna with the analysis visor. I need to scan every animal on a planet. That's what that's for. But you can go through here. This is all your exploration milestones. You also have survival. So walking, on-foot exploration. Surviving on extreme worlds, because there's extreme planets that try to kill you. Destroying sentinels, you know, destroying pirates. You know, trading, making money while you trade for, you know, items. So there's a whole bunch here, and this is important for the storyline, so make sure you're doing that. But just like in the last episode when we were on the space station, I showed you that we had the mission envoy. This is where you would rank that up. So as you do things and help out certain aliens, your ranking will go up. And as it goes up, they will give you better and better missions. At first, they're like, nah, we don't know you. We don't care about you. We're not giving you any missions. And then as you help them, as you do things for them, they like you more, and they're saying, you know what? You're pretty cool. We'll give you a cool mission. So this is where you would see that. Like, I haven't done anything for the Gek. So my standing is a level 3. That's the regular medium. You can go negative. So keep that in mind as well. If I attack the Gek, my standing will go down, and you'll see it go to a minus standing. So that's what you don't want to do. I mean, unless you don't care. Like, if you don't like the Gek, you can go after them if you'd like. Just remember, they're not going to give you any missions. They're not going to give you any items because they hate you if you attack them. Same thing for, like, the Viking, for the Korvax, all of this stuff. And then we have the guilds. The Merchant Guild, we were talking about that earlier. This is a Merchant Guild system. And so the more units I earn, the higher my level is, because they're all about selling and buying. So they love me doing that. Mercenaries is going to be more about killing things, like killing the sentinels, going after the biological horrors. We'll talk about them later on. Going after pirates. So these are just general. Like, they don't care if I do a mission for them. I will get this no matter what. Just like with the Merchants Guild. I haven't done any missions to, you know, spend or, you know, make any money, but that's what they gauge it on, like how much I'm trading with other pilots and other trading stations. The Explorers Guild, how many animals I've scanned, how many plants, you know, all this kind of stuff. The Outlaws, these are the pirates. So this is, you know, there's a whole bunch of different stuff here. It's overwhelming at first, but as you play the game, you're going to get more comfortable with this menu, and you'll say, oh, okay, I need to rank this one up because I like being a pirate. If you want to do a pirate run through, you can totally do that. You know, but some of these are counterintuitive because a lot of times the pirates want you to go attack a ship, and it might be a Gek ship. And so if you do a mission for the Outlaws, it might actually hurt your standing with the Gek or the Korvax because they have you attacking them, and vice versa. You know, the Mercenaries Guild literally has you killing pirates. If you kill pirates, they're not going to like it very much. And so it's going to be very hard to kind of balance it out between all of these things. So sometimes it's just easier to focus on one and say, hey, look, I want to hang out with the Gek and the Merchants Guild because those kind of gel together. And so your standing with these two will go up, and you might go down with like the Outlaws or maybe the Mercenaries Guild, but that's fine because you're only focused on a couple or a few. So keep that in mind. A lot of information here, a lot of information. The other tab we have here is the Discovery tab. So this is going to keep track of all of your discoveries. And if you're on a planet, it'll only focus in on that one planet. So right now, Rosin is the planet we're on. It'll tell me how many plants I've scanned, how many animals I've scanned, and how many rocks I've scanned. Also a save beacon. If I've activated any save beacon, that's what these are. But if I go into like my animals, my fauna, it'll tell you all the information about it. So if I want to know, hey, look, this little guy here, this little crab guy, I can get all the information here, when I discover it, who discovered it. And so if you come here and you scan this crab guy, if you go into your discoveries, it'll say, hey, look, actually, Jason found that 4 days ago. You know, or in some cases, it was years ago, depending on like the planet you go to. But this is also where you can rename any discovery that you yourself made. So if you come here and try to rename it, it says, sorry, Jason renamed it. Jason's the one who originally found this crab. But because I'm the one who did it, I'm going to upload and rename. So press Y if you're on Xbox, triangle on PlayStation, and I can name this whatever I'd like within reason. There are name or word filters. So there we are, Mr. Krabs. And I've uploaded it. So anytime, if someone comes here and you're connected to the internet, if you're not connected to the internet, you can't go to the server. And so the servers are what basically connect us all. But if you come here and you're connected to the internet, it'll tell you, oh yeah, this is a animal called Mr. Krabs, and this is Jason found it. So that is freaking awesome. I love it. And so, and don't worry, you can also rename it. See, it says rename and upload. If I say, hey, look, I actually don't like that name. I think that's too generic, or it's just not, it doesn't feel good. Let's do this to King Crab. If I could spell it. Now I can name it to King Crab. You can rename it. Now keep in mind, sometimes, depending on your connection to the server, it won't let you do that immediately, just because if you're not connected to the server, or if the servers are having issues, it'll say, hey, wait a minute. We need to connect to the servers just to double check if it's you who owns it, and we need to double check the name to make sure it's not a terrible name. So every once in a while, it won't let you rename a discovery or do anything because the servers are having issues. So if you're ever having any issues looking at animals, or maybe a player base is not working, come in here and check on the bottom left-hand side of the screen, because this will tell you online discovery services are active. This is the online servers, basically. So, and then you could do that for each one. You can go manually through and say, oh yeah, this one's going to be beer drinky. Beer drinky for this one. Uh-oh. Yeah, that mouth is okay. Yeah, it's definitely a beer drinky. So you could do that manually. Or if you want to, you could just literally back out. And so these are all the systems I've been to. So if I back up a little bit, to start with, you're on the whatever planet you're on, it'll open up that menu. But you could press B or O if you're on PlayStation and back up. And now it'll show you everything. And you could just say, hey, look, I'm going to upload all. I don't care about the names or whatever. I just want to earn credits, because every time you upload something, like let's say I upload this animal right here. If I upload it, I'm going to get like 5 nanites. So let's say, boom, let's call this one Groundhog. I uploaded and I received 5 nanites. And so you don't get a lot, but you get a few, right? And so if you come in and you say, actually, you know what? I want to just upload everything. I don't care about the names. I can change the name later on. Because even if you upload it at the same time, you're still allowed to change it later on. So I'm going to upload all. I just got 133 nanites. That's pretty good. You know, so the more you scan, the more nanites you can earn. And these are really good for upgrades. So you want to do that. And again, if you're like, actually, you know what? I uploaded this, but I don't want it to be that name. I could just call this one's Jason's 2026 playthrough. Boom. There you go. And you're like, actually, I don't want to do that. I need to let it double check. So now it's checking that to make sure it's not a bad word. So I might have to come back a little bit later and change that. But yeah, so there you go. There's a lot of stuff in the menus. Or if you want to, go back to your pause menu and go to options. This is where all of your options are going to be. So you can go to your general. Like you can mess with your music, your vocals. You can change the suit voice from a male to a female, to just turn it off. If you don't like the suit telling you stuff like, you know, hazard protection low or whatever, you can just turn it off. I like keeping mine to the default, which is feminine. Player voice is default is B. So this is like all of your different voices. Like when you hit the ground and you take a little bit of damage, you get a little or if it's, you know, you want a higher pitch or a lower pitch, whatever you want, there you go. So it's more of, your character doesn't speak, it's more of the grunts and the breathing and stuff like that. This is where if you want to, you can turn off your HUD. So right now, if we go back into the menu, or go back into the game, you see all the stuff on the outside, like my information to the bottom right. I can see this little image right here where my mission is. All this stuff. The bottom left is your like planetary information, all that kind of stuff. If you turn off the HUD, it turns off everything. So now I have nothing on the screen. I can't see anything. So it makes the game look better because you're not distracted by all the information. However, it becomes nearly impossible to play simply because, where's my mission? I can't tell. I can't tell. I don't know where anything is. And so it's usually used for like either challenges, like I use the no HUD challenge, or if you want to get a good like video, like if you're making a video and you don't want all the stuff on the screen, you could totally do that. Like if you're running through a beautiful base, turn off your HUD. That way people could just see the base and not be distracted by all the numbers and things on the screen. That's really cool. But other than that, it's not very useful simply because it kind of breaks the game so you can't tell where anything is. I wish there was a deeper option to say, hey, look, not just HUD. Let me turn off like, you know, let me turn off my my health meter. Let me turn off my whatever, my planet information, but leave the missions. Like, let me have a toggle to turn on and off certain things. That way I could say, hey, look, turn everything off except for the missions. That way I can still play the game, but have it nice and clean and crisp. Anyway, continuing on, you can change your temperature to Fahrenheit, as you should. By default, it is on Celsius. But, I mean, you can also go to Kelvin if you want to be really scientific. But I always keep mine in Fahrenheit because I'm in the United States. We use Fahrenheit here. I think we're the only ones because we're correct. Anyway, there's also this cross save. This should be enabled for everyone. So you can turn it on and off if you'd like. So you say, hey, look, I don't care about cross save. I'll turn that off. That way it won't save your game to the No Man's Sky servers. It's kind of nice if you have multiple devices. So like, let's say you play on Xbox and then you have a Nintendo Switch. You can turn on cross saves. And if you play mostly on your Xbox and then you take your Switch whenever you go on trips, you can upload your save to the Switch, download it, download it to the Switch, and then play it on your trip or whatever. So it's kind of nice. I like this feature of being able to take your saves anywhere, and it's in the game. You don't have to depend on your service like Xbox or PlayStation to do it for you. This is literally a No Man's Sky item. So it goes to the No Man's Sky servers, and then you can download it to wherever you want. So if you want to move your save to another platform, whatever it is, like you play on PC and you want to switch over to PlayStation, you can totally do that back and forth. It's really, really awesome. I like this feature. And then we have like, language if you want. Default is going to be English, but you can change it to like Korean, Chinese simplified, Chinese traditional, Japanese, Portuguese, Spanish, Portuguese, Netherlands. Okay, so there's a lot of them in here. I just go default because I do English. I wonder, is there American English? English UK? English US? I didn't even realize there's an English US version. I'm going to do that. Oh, I have to reset the game. It says, sorry, you need to return the mode select to do it. All right. But yeah, there's some words that they will put in like a U for color, and so I'm gonna do it in English. It better be like redneck English. This is the only acceptable United States English. Dang it! All right. Well, anyway, the other important thing that a lot of people don't know about or don't use very often is the rename your current save. So let me make a save real fast and show you what it looks like by default. Where's my ship? There it is. Anytime you get in and out of your ship, you make a save. Restore point saved. So now if I go back to my menu, so go to mode select. When you select your save, it'll just say load save and it'll tell you where it is within Jason's market base. So traditionally, it's either been remember how long you were playing or what day you played, and that was it, right? So there was no way to know. Like, you'd have a huge list and it would just be load save and tell you where you were. And that was kind of the way you figured it out. Like, oh, this is my main save because I'm on planet 250K. That's my main save, right? You can rename it. So this is main save number 2. So let's go in here and let's rename the save. And you can name it anything you want just to make it easier to remember, oh, this is the save I need to go to, or this is the save that I'm using for a special occasion, or whatever it is. So if you press pause, right here underneath it says rename current save. You can name this, like I'm going to name mine, Beginner's Guide 2026. And so now that's what it is. But before you quit, you have to save it. So make another save. That way it updates it. So now we made a restore point. We saved. Now if I quit to mode select, I go in here to play. Right there. Boom. Now it says Beginner's Guide 2026. So I know which save is which. So if you might have multiple people on the same profile, you can say, hey, this is Jason's save. And you can make another one saying this is Bob's save, or this is Heather's save. So you can name them that, or whatever you want. You could just say, hey, this is going to be my challenge save, or this is my expedition save, whatever you'd like. You can just name it that. That way you can kind of categorize it and organize it however you'd like. It's a really cool feature. And if you play a lot of No Man's Sky like I do, you're going to have a lot of different saves. And so it does come in handy to be able to name them. All right, we've gone through tons and tons and tons of menu. Let's go to the distress signal now. Now that we've spent almost half an hour on menus, good Lord. I know that's not like the most exciting thing, but I know a lot of people also don't realize that stuff about the menus. And so as you play the game, you will learn eventually. You'll kind of catch on to it, but it's kind of helpful early on to know about those things. Like changing some settings, like your default temperature settings or whatever. Or saving changing your save name. That way you know what it's called and you can kind of identify it. Things like that. All right, let's go down here to the coordinates for this. Let's get down here. Possible distress signal. And this is going to be, I believe, the target sweeper. Oh, no, it's not. Thank God. It's right where it needs to be. So we need to activate this. This is a crashed freighter. All right. So this is the crashed freighter here. Let's interact with this. MS Wings of the Anomaly. Log damaged. Partial records available. The signal has led me to the wreck of a freighter. Colossal fragments of metal scattered across the landscape. Were these messages nothing but the misfiring circuits of a long-forgotten ruin? Nestled among the debris, I find the pilot's log blinking, awaiting input. Well, let's request that log. Instead of displaying the ship's log, the terminal spits out a strange sequence of numbers. They are followed by a short message. All right. The anomaly comes for the stars. Take flight. A schematic for a hyperdrive is attached at the end of the message. I pull the blueprint from the computer, but this hyperdrive blueprint is for a conventional starship, not a freighter of this size. Someone placed this here after the crash, hoping it would be found. So now we have a hyperdrive, which is the way we can move between different star systems. So I need to begin my hyperdrive. We have the blueprint, so we've learned that. We now know how to build one. Let's go into our inventory. And our ship is here, so let's put in our hyperdrive here. Now, you don't have to select whatever they highlight. So that they're telling me to put it right there. I'm going to put it over here. Hyperdrive. And remember, when you build something, you need to manually put in all the materials. I wish it would auto-use it, but it doesn't. So instead, you still have to, even if you have it already, you still have to do it. I wish that if you installed something and you had the materials ready to go, it would just instantly use them. That would be kind of nice. Or at least set an option for that. Let's do that. Our 5 microprocessors. Remember when we went to the space station, we bought the 5 microprocessors? This is what it's for. And then we also need 125 chromatic metal. We got that. So now it's installed, but we have no fuel. It's 0. So we can't go anywhere. We can't leave the system because we don't have any fuel in it. So let's see. It needs to catch up. There it goes. Boom. It took a second to register because I did it faster than it thought. Auto diagnostics report. Hyperdrive successfully installed. Hyperdrive fuel status empty. My hyperdrive is complete. Perhaps I really will find answers out amidst the stars. But without warp cells, I will be going nowhere. I need to find a source of antimatter. Well, let's scan for it. So now we've turned our scanner towards it, but we need to get some space. We need to get some room. That way we can scan everything. So let's get up here and let's scan. Left stick. And it should move it. Nope, sorry. Atmospheric interference. So we need to get outside the atmosphere. Let's get in space. And now let's try that again. Now that we're in space. Antimatter trace detected. Target locked. So now we know where it is. And it is over on this planet. So let's head over to the planet. And we're getting low on fuel, so let's make sure to use our pulse engine from our quick menu. Oh, we're going to need to get some more technology or some more tritium, some more fuel for our pulse engine. But it's going to be on a planet we haven't been to before. Oh, no, I think we started this. Yeah, we started on this planet. And then we moved to the other one. And here we go. And then, oh, we're on the other side of the planet. Wow, the dark side? Yeah, it's almost. So whenever I crack the atmosphere, you can't use your pulse engine because you're next to a planet, but you can use your boost. So I'll hold down right trigger to get the gas, and then hold down B or O if you're on PlayStation, and you still get a boost doing this. So I'm just boosting in. And then we have a target sweeper. So there is a secret to the target sweeper. If you hate it as much as I do, if you want to avoid like landing and searching for something, you hit left on your D-pad, the little cross. And at the bottom left-hand side of the screen, you see it says target at the bottom. Little small print. It says target 600 units away, 590, 80, 70. So that's how you know where to go. And you can kind of use that as a reference. So if I go this way, now you'll see the numbers going up. Target is 460, 70, 80, 90, 500 away. So I'm moving away from it. So you can use that. Just keep tapping left on your D-pad. And it'll tell you, oh yeah, you're getting closer or you're getting farther away. That way you don't have to land and walk around in circles for like 10 minutes. You can just do this. So again, just check the bottom left-hand side of your screen. And it's going to be a building or some kind of a marker. So I'm guessing it's this building in front of me. And you'll get, boom, I went 100 meters away. 90. So yeah, I'm within 50 meters of it. So this has to be the building, right? Let's land here. And then to double check, get out of your ship, pull up your visor. And there it is. There's the marker. Boom. Mission marker here. And we have whispering eggs. So we're at an abandoned building. So this is a pro tip early on. Early on, these whispering eggs are very valuable, but they are guarded by biological horrors. There are scary monsters that guard these. So what you can do, and what I would always recommend, is there are a few ways to do this. Either you can crack the egg open and then run and hide. If you go inside of a building, they will not attack you. So let me show you. Crack it open, and now they come out to protect their eggs. Oh no! So you can run away and hide inside the building. They will not come in the building. And so if I just sit in here for about a minute, about 60 seconds, they will disappear. They settle down after about a minute. And they can't attack me in here. They won't come in here. And so I'm totally safe. So I don't have to worry about that. I can come in here. I can restore my shield. You know, I can kind of explore this nasty ruin that has all this growth on it because these monsters have been living here for however many years. Get myself some health. But yeah, and you'll see a notification on your screen that says swarm subsiding. So that's all we're waiting for. Are they subsiding? I think they are. No, not yet. So just hide in it. There you go. Swarm subsiding. That means they're going away. So now they're gone, right? And what we got out of it was... Did we not pick it up? Oh, we didn't pick up the egg. Oh, no. I didn't pick up the egg because I'm dumb. I should have picked up the egg. But I didn't. But yeah, so you can do it that way. Or if you're fast enough, you just run around in circles and you can avoid them. Now, that's a little bit more of an advanced tactic because if you get caught by them, they will murderize you. So just be careful of that. The more safe option is to dig a hole underneath. So you see this is a nest right here with 4 different eggs on it. Let's use our terrain manipulator to dig a hole underneath it. So you just want to make a little bit of a tunnel, right? And then dig up underneath because you cannot destroy the eggs. Not with your terrain manipulator. So you just want to clear it out so you can see the eggs. So that should be good, right? And now all you do is pop the egg and have it fall down on you. So we'll do this. Egg comes down. We collect it. And we can stand here all day. The monsters don't know how to go underground. And so they will run around on the outside of your hole, try to attack you, but they can't get down here. That scared me a little bit. I thought he was going to come down here. I was going to say, what? Did they change that? No, see, he's trying to get down here. The gap for my hole is a little bit large, so they're kind of falling down the edges. But I can stay there all day. And I can pop this egg right here. Have it fall down in my hole, and I can just grab it. So you have to pick up the larval core after you've popped open the egg. So boom. Oh, give me that. You gotta hold down your button to pick it up. Oh, this is where the third-person camera is failing me. See, I can't go any higher than that. That's as high as I can go. So that's why, again, we talked about this, I think, in the first episode. This game was made with first person in mind, not third person camera. So if I switch over, first person camera, now magically, look at that. I can aim at that. I can aim straight up and down. In third person, you cannot. It's a weird problem, and I don't know why it is. You know, it's a issue, but essentially, they assume and they've made the game to where it plays better in first person. So you could do that, you know. So every once in a while, you'll notice I'll switch between first and third person. I like third person. It's my preferred way to play the game. However, there are times where first person is like a way easier or something works better in first person. And so, yeah, you just got to do that every once in a while. But yeah, and so you can wait them out like this. So eventually, they'll go away and I can go dig another hole under another nest and collect those eggs if I wish. So, and these things are worth a lot. So you see they're worth 69,000. Nice. Credits for each one. So I have a stack of 4. That's 279,000 credits I can get just from selling it. However, I will tell you, do not sell these for money unless you need it. Like sometimes you need some cash because, you know, you need to buy that ship or whatever. I will tell you right now, don't do that because they are worth more than that. So let me grab some more and let me show you. So I'm going to do the running method. So if you do this and just keep moving, if you stand still, they will get you. But if you move around a little bit, they can't get you. They can't attack you. Now, it's going to be hard because sometimes you stop to pick up an egg and all of a sudden they catch you. So just make sure to keep moving as much as you possibly can to avoid getting hit. Up like that. So let's move around here. And we're just going to run in laps around this building. Nope, nope, don't attack me. So, oh, we got this one, we're good. We got this one, we're good. This one has 2 left on it, or 3 left on it. Well, I got, okay. Oh, make sure to pick it up. Pick it up. And there's no eggs here.
Life support power low.
Oh, my life support's getting kind of low. All right, so if you think you've got all the eggs, you can pull up your visor and the eggs are marked with red. They have a little whispering egg icon. So you can pull up your visor real fast just to double check and say, oh, there's still an egg over here. So if you think you have all the eggs, double check. Just pull up your visor really fast, because sometimes they blend in and you can't really tell. So you're like, I think I got them all, and all of a sudden it's like, oh, actually, no, it's actually right there. I just can't see it because it blends in with all the other goop around it. Here we go. Let's see. Oh, there's one more over here. I didn't even see this one. Where is this one at? Oh, it's right there. Yeah, see? That's why. You want to use that visor because you can see it. One over there. We got one more. Where are you at? Damn, it is definitely blending in. I can't even see that. All right, so we have all the eggs. We popped all the eggs. We got all the larval cores. So let's go inside the building and protect ourselves. You could also, if you want to, just go up to the top of the building, because they can't go up or down. Like, they will not go underground to get you. They will not come up on the building. So I could just stand right here, and they just sit there and they're mad. They could do that as well. But anyway, these are very, very valuable. So look at that. A stack of 10 is 698,000. So I have what? A little over 1.5 million just with these. Don't be tempted by the money, though. What you need to use, what you want to use, is you want to refine it. So if I build a refiner, and I put these larval cores in the refiner, I need some fuel in it, but I put my larval core in the refiner. One of these eggs turns into 50 nanite clusters. So this is the nanite money. This is why you don't want to sell it, because $1 million is not as beneficial as 500 nanites. It says requested operation not recommended. We definitely want to do that. 500 nanites is a very, very good. This is like a really good upgrade. And so we have a stack of 10. Let's do that. 500 nanites. So now we're up to 800 nanites. We more than doubled our nanites. And again, remember, the money is kind of set up weird. So your units are your general cash, your coins. These are kind of easy to get. You get that by scanning animals, by selling items. These are easy to get. Nanites, on the other hand, are not as easy. You have to earn them or find them, or in this case, refine them. So there's special items that refine into nanites. And so it's harder to get these. And then Quicksilver is your more rare currency. This is really special. You don't earn very much of this. So that's way, way rare on your Quicksilver. But we're earning a whole bunch of nanites for upgrades. So that's what we're doing here. So I'm gonna recycle or refine all of my larval cores in my refiner. That way we can make a ton of nanites. So we just jumped up from what, I think 300 nanites to 1,500. 1,500 nanites is very good. I'm gonna take that refiner with me. And so that's why you want to find these abandoned buildings. They have eggs on the outside, and you can get all those eggs and make a lot of nanites. Early on, at least, that's a really, really easy option. Later on, there's going to be better ways to farm them up. But at first, when you're a brand new player, that's a very easy way to do it. So let's go in here and get what we're supposed to be getting. Our antimatter, which is in this terminal here. We need to get rid of this junk. This can turn into nanites, but it's not as good. So it's just junk. So we'll get rid of that. Terminal online. Selecting key. Decrypting. Success. Terminal is clogged with an unnerving, pulsating slime. Nevertheless, it appears to function. As I touch the input panel, the alien substance reacts violently. I make a note to avoid getting closer. The device opens, revealing a single unblinking crimson eye. It prints out a blueprint for antimatter, accompanied by a strange message. Well, let's take that blueprint. You will find us when the time is right. 16 over and over again. So we just got the blueprint for antimatter. So now we know how to make antimatter. So we should be able to make a whole bunch of fuel for our hyperdrive now. Oh, let's open up these boxes here. There we are. Open up the damaged machinery. Get rid of the slime. What are we going to get out of here? We got some nanites. Yep, we got nanites. That's fine. That's what I was expecting. We're going to get a whole bunch of nanites. That's fine. All right, where did my ship go? Oh, it's right over there. So now we can make antimatter. So get in my ship. Let's make antimatter. So we have this antimatter. We also need a casing for it. We need antimatter housing. We need to make one of those. So now we've made one of each. And so we can make a warp cell because it needs one antimatter housing and one antimatter. Warp cell. This is fuel for your warp drive. Now, if you don't want to remember that, or you can't remember that, there's too much information here. What you can do is when you go to your crafting menu, press A or X if you're on a PlayStation. It'll bring up your crafting menu. And then hover over a warp cell. It says I don't have those materials, right? If you press X when you're on Xbox, square if you're on PlayStation, it actually brings up your tree. So a warp cell needs antimatter, housing, and antimatter. But I need both of these, right? So I need to make one of those. In order to make that, I need ferrite dust and oxygen. So it kind of gives you the tree of what you need. The bottom is the basic. Middle is what you need for your top. Boom. Boom. And then make it warp cell. Done. So that's how you do it, because some items in this game, they get ridiculously complicated. There's like 10 steps. So again, the warp cell was only 3. There are trees that get huge. So there's items that you need to make items and then make other items and then make another item. And then you can make your final item. So this tree is very, very helpful. That way you don't have to memorize it and like write it down or whatever. Nope, it's in the game. It is so nice to have that. So there you go. We made some warp cells. Let's pick it up. Put it in our ship. There we go. So we are kicking butt and taking names. We have Hyperdrive filled up. So now it'll be time to leave this system, but we're going to do that in the next episode. So hopefully this episode was very informative for you. If it was, hit that like button, and I will see you guys in the next one.